What's happening YouTube? It's Mike French here, and today we have a video that a lot of people ask me about. This is a build breakdown video on my 2006 Toyota Tundra with a 4.7 liter V8. And in this video, I'm going to show you guys the parts I have on the truck and like how I fit these 35-inch tires on there and stuff like that. But before we talk about that stuff, let's jump into some cinematic shots of the truck and see what she's all about. Here we go. All right guys, so this is my 2006 Toyota Tundra. It's the SR5 Access Cab model, and I've had this truck since 2008 when it had 16,000 miles on it. I'm the second owner, and yeah, I was able to pay it off through my pizza job, and this truck's always been great to me. It's got 180,000 miles on it now, and every single weekend it has had 2 or 3 full-size dirt bikes in the back going out to the local tracks, and it's just been great. I've done some decent off-roading with it, a bunch of stuff, and the truck's always held up. I just think it's a bulletproof truck, and it's a pretty fast truck, and the power to weight ratio is really good with that 4.7 V8 because they don't really make trucks like a mid-sized truck like this anymore with a V8, at least not exactly like this. So it's kind of a different class of its own. You know, the newer Tundra, that like we have one over there, it's just a bigger beast of a truck. It's nothing like this. This is like the size of a newer Tacoma. So anyways, let's take a closer look at this truck. We'll start in the front. A lot of people ask me about this. This is the light bar I'm running, and excuse these cheap Chinese lights. They are a complete joke. They work, but they're just Chinese and they're just on there for now. But besides that, I've had a lot of people ask me about this light bar. So this is an NFAB light bar. It's for a newer style Tacoma, and I actually welded on some brackets to the inner part of the bumper that's metal. So like just some L brackets, you can kind of see them right there. And that's all I had to do. I just welded on some brackets and I was able to mount this because no one makes a Baja bar anymore, or just a basic bar like this for the first gen Tundras. A company called, like, I think it was Defiant. They used to make them, but they went out of business in like 2009 or something like that. So anyways, this is an NFAB light bar for a newer style Tacoma, and just, you know, welded on some custom brackets, and I'm able to run it like this. And I just cut some of the plastic out all nice right there. And I love this setup. It's basic, it works great, and I'm gonna get some real lights on there, some Baja Designs lights here soon. So that's gonna be great. So anyways, we've got a billet grill up here, but that's custom installed. You know, we got some HID headlights in there, the conversion kit, so the HID bulbs, the ballast and whatnot. Going on to wheels and tires, we have the Method NV wheels. They're 17-inch wheels, and they are on 35-inch, a true 35-inch. This isn't a 315. 35-inch KO2 all-terrain BF Goodrich tires. So that's what we're running, and these are big tires for this truck. Even 285s are kind of a big tire for this truck, but guess what? With some trimming and this Camburg kit I have on here, no problem. So to look up here at the Camburg kit, people usually call this like a mid-travel kit kind of. It's an upper A-arm, and this has the sway-away coilover. This is how the kit used to be sold years ago. So sway-away coilover, Camburg upper A-arm, and I absolutely love this kit. It is bulletproof. You can do a lot of stuff with it. So highly recommended. The Camburg kit, now it's sold with a Fox shock or a King shock, not a sway-away anymore, but it's the same upper A-arm. And for what it is, that coilover and upper A-arm is a huge improvement when you're off-roading and even on the street, hitting speed bumps, everything like that. It's great. It's really worth the money. So But I'm gonna be going bigger and better. We're gonna be putting a new Camburg kit on this soon. So stay tuned for that. That's why I'm kind of making this video, because this stuff's gonna be gone and we're gonna have some big boy stuff on here soon. So anyways, those are the wheels, those are the tires. That's the shock and upper A-arm. This is the trimming I had to do right here. A lot of people have asked me about this. So this is like the firewall area. I just kind of had to cut out about 1 inch worth of excess metal. There's a seam. And even with the cutting I've done, nothing's gonna leak. There's nothing like that. It's not weird. So yeah, just trim some of the excess metal with the firewall right there and the plastic. And I'm able to run the 35s, but I have to have 1.25 inch wheel spacers right now because it'll actually hit when you're doing a U-turn if you don't have the wheel spacers with these big tires. So anyways, but that's what I had to do for the 35s. The back, I didn't have to do anything, literally, but they do hit when I have a full load. But the 35s in the back, they pretty much fit for the most part, but when you have like 3 dirt bikes in the back and it's loaded and the truck articulates, it'll actually hit the edges right here. So I guess I could have just cut off the edge, but guess what? I got fiberglass fenders and fiberglass bedsides for this thing, so I'm not worried about this because we're gonna be going bigger and better. So those 35s, they're not gonna be a problem at all. I'm thinking 37s, guys. What do you think? So anyways, so that's the wheels and tires. There's kind of the outside of the truck. In the back, I have Bilstein 5100s, so just basic right now. They got like 20,000 miles on them and stuff, so, but yeah, Bilstein 5100s. I got Flowmaster 40 exhaust system with a 3-inch dump. We can see the muffler right there. It's kind of dirty and stuff right now, but Flowmaster 40, there's a 3-inch dump right there. And then I have a straight piece of tubing, and that goes to the high flow collector. This is actually a JBA high flow collector right there is what that is. So, and that's smog legal here, smog certified legal here in California, that piece. And then it's just got the OEM pieces that go into the catalytic converter right there, and that goes into the JBA shorty headers up front that we'll see in a second. All right, guys, so we'll take a closer look at those JBA headers. We can see them easier on this side. There they are, JBA ceramic coated, smog certified here in California. The model that is smog certified is $100 and something more, like 175 or 200 more than the non-smog certified, which sucks. But it's well worth the money having these headers on the truck. And a lot of people asked, did I notice a difference on power, fuel economy, or whatever? And I would say that once I ran the headers with a ram air intake system, it was all the difference. I had the headers on here with a stock intake, and it kind of was like a little bit of an upgrade, but I was like, wow, I spent 700 bucks on that. But once the intake went on there, it just opened up so much. And having that ram air intake with a throttle body spacer, these JBA shorty headers, and the JBA high flow collector with the Flowmaster 40, it just lets the air go in and out easy, and this truck sounds so peculiar. And everyone is always asking why, and I'm just saying you just have to run that combo. Most people aren't running the intake and the headers together. That's where the money's at. That's the money maker. So anyways, we got the coilover looking good and the upper air looking good on this side. So let's jump under the hood and check out that ram air intake and the throttle body spacer. Okay, so let's take a look under the hood and see what we got going here. All right, there we are. The 4.7 liter V8. I-Force looking good, and then here it is, the HBS ram air intake system. This thing's worked out well for me, and this is actually not smog certified right here, but I still have the stock intake, so when I gotta get smogged, I gotta put the stock intake on, and that's about that. So there's the sticker for those JBA headers for the smog guy, so we can keep those on. We can see I got some Hello horns right here. You can see them through the grill. They're kind of cool. And back here, I got a throttle body spacer. I believe it's like a Vortex. And that thing honestly really works well when you have this ram air intake and then the headers on there. You could just hear that thing spool up and spin in the air. And I definitely think it adds a little peppiness to the throttle, but nothing major. So anyways, but that's pretty much a look under the hood. I did do the timing belt the idler pulleys, a new radiator, water pump, a bunch of seals, everything on the front of the motor. I did that at about 115, 120,000. The timing belt looked good when I did it, but everything else, the radiator was leaking, the water pump was seeping a bit, the pulleys were kind of getting dry, so I was stoked I did that. Saved myself like $1,600 of labor doing it myself, so I was pretty stoked about that. But anyway, so now this truck is pretty much good to go for another 100,000 miles, all those new parts in the front of the motor. And I've serviced the transmission and the rear end as well, and I'll be re-gearing the rear end here soon for these tires I'm running. So anyways, so that's a look under the motor compartment and what we got going there. Let's jump on into the interior of the truck and see what we got going there. Okay, so here's the interior of my truck. We can see that we have the 70-30 split bench seat up here because this is the SR5 model. And I would like to get the bucket seats like the Limited has, but I'll probably just get race seats here in the future to replace these. But they're really comfortable and they've worked out over the years. And I've tried to keep them clean. For the stereo, we can see I have a Pioneer touchscreen Bluetooth audio doubled in setup. And I installed that setup myself with a installation kit from Best Buy, and it wasn't too bad. In the doors, I have Polk audio speakers and tweeters, and then I have a 1100 watt amp that is running this 800 watt 10-inch subwoofer right here, and that amp's turned down. So the sound system on this truck is pretty mean and it works out well. Looking at some of the supplies I have in the truck, I always try to keep it stocked well with supplies. I have a basic toolkit for whatever you need, roadside assistance, metric and standard. We got a heavy duty tow strap. We have zip ties and paper towels, and then right here I have jumper cables, flares, and other things like that. We have a fire extinguisher right here. This is like a this isn't a chemical one. It's dry like CO2, so it's for this model is for electrical fires. That's kind of what you want. And then over here in the door, we can see we have some supplies. We have a light duty tow strap, an EpiPen, JB Weld, tires, patch kits, Velcro, tape, whatever you need. So pretty much just try to keep the truck stocked for any situation, so you know you're ready to go. So that's the interior of the truck, and yeah. All right, guys, well, that was the build breakdown of my 2006 Toyota Tundra and where the build's at to this point. And like I said, I got fiberglass fenders and bedsides for this truck already, and then I have a new Camburg Long Tavel Kit coming for it. That's gonna be sweet. And we're also gonna do some other parts and mods to it. So stay tuned for those new build videos, and I'll be uploading them soon. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.